Okay, grade 12s. I have a solid geometry question here. This is page 67 from the JPEGD workbook. So first of all, I'll have to read the instructions. We are given the front view and the top view of two solids, the pyramid and the prism, right? We're also given an auxiliary view of the prism. Specifications, the two solids do not touch. They're talking about those two solids. Um, both solids are cut by the cutting plane AA. We have the cutting plane there, AA. Instructions, draw to scale 1:1 the following views of the two solids. We have to draw there's three views: the given front view, the sectional top view, the sectional right view, right? So this is the front view, obviously, and this is the top view. And we're also given the auxiliary view there for the prism. Note, show all necessary construction, show all hidden detail on all three views, right? Okay, so now that means I'll only draw two views that are cut by the cutting plane AA, right? Okay, and then obviously I'll copy the given front view. So I'll copy the given front view exactly as it is there, and then this top view I have to draw it cut, right? Okay, so now for me to draw these two solids, I'll have to draw this top view first in light construction, and then obviously from there I'll just project all the points up, and then after that I'll have to start by drawing the auxiliary view for the prism so that I can just project the height of the prism from the front view. Okay, so I've drawn the top view in light construction there, and I labeled all the points there. So obviously this is what a hexagon shape. So we are given there that this line is at an angle of 45 degrees. So obviously I used my 45 degrees set square to draw the base of the hexagon there. So let me just show you there. So obviously I placed my 45 degrees set square like that, and then I drew this line here. So this is the base of the hexagon. Obviously the side or the sides of the hexagon, it's given there, it's 30. That means all the sides are equal. Okay, so obviously from that line, the baseline there, obviously I measured 30, and obviously I constructed the shape, the hexagon. So it's very important for you to know how to construct any shape. So obviously you have to know how to construct a hexagon, and obviously after drawing this hexagon, I had to draw the top view of the prism. So it's just a rectangle there. So obviously we are given the width of the base of the prism there, it's 60. We are given there from the auxiliary view there. So obviously that means from this point to that point it's 60. So I measured that 60 there, and then the length of the prism is given from the top view, it's 50 there. So I measured 50, and I labeled the points AA. So this line is line AA, line CC, line BB. So now I'll have to project all the points to the top section there. So okay, so I've projected all the points up to that top section there. So now I can start with the prism there, the front view of the prism. Okay, so now because I've projected all the points up, what's the height of this prism? We can only get the height of the prism from the auxiliary view, because obviously I have this auxiliary view. I'll have to project the height, and then I can just mark all the points up there, right? So I'll just project that horizontally to my left hand side. So this is the height of the prism, like that. Okay, so now I'll have to label these points. Obviously the points must align with the points from the top view there. So I have this line CC. Obviously this point is the point there. It's the base point, so I can just label that point C. So that means we have the C there, and the A will be this point, the B. So these are the points. Obviously I used my top view to label these points. So obviously we are looking from this side. So the triangle, the surface here, obviously I'll see the point, this point will be on my left hand side. So obviously I'll start with A will be on my far left, and then on my right hand side I'll have B, and at the bottom I'll have point C, right? Okay, so now I have the height of the prism, so I'll just plot the points. So B with B, they connect there, so this is my first point. C, obviously they connect there, and A will be there. So that means I have this shape, the surface now, so I can just connect the points there. Use my marker, so I can just connect the points there and draw the shape like that. Okay, and then now I'll move to, let me just label my points. This is A, B, and C. Okay, so obviously I have line C at the bottom, so that means I'll have C there. I can label that point C, and I have line AA, so AA will be there, right? So I can label that point A, and we have line BB, so I'll use this point and connect up there, so I have point B there. Okay, so now I can just complete my front view, the front view of the prism. So obviously I have an edge there, an edge down there and up there, but this part, this line is hidden, so I'll have to draw a hidden detail line. So I'll start with the hidden detail line there. So it's from B to C. Like that. And then I just connect those 2 points. Like that. And that edge up there. And the bottom edge. Like that. So this is the complete front view of the triangular prism. So now I can move to the pyramid. So obviously I labeled the points 1 up to 6, and I also have this point there in the middle there, so I can just label that point T. This point will be point T, right? Okay, so obviously point T will be this point there at the bottom, and then obviously I can just mark all the points from point 1 up to 6. So all these points are on the same line up there, and the height of the pyramid is 70. So I'll just measure 70 from the XY line going up. I'll mark off there. So that means I'll have to extend those construction lines. Okay, so the 70 is up there. You can just draw a horizontal line. So I just drew a horizontal line there. So obviously point 1 up to 6, they are on the same line up there. Okay, so I'll start with point 1. I have point 1 there. Point 2 is there. Point 3 is up there. Point 4 is right there. 5 is right there. there, or 6 right there. Okay, and point T, I'll have to project that point. So point T is just there at the bottom. So this is point T, right? Okay, so now I can just connect all the points to point T, because this is a pyramid, remember, as shown there. Obviously, I'll see this edge, and that edge right there, and this one. But now this two, they are hidden, and even this lines there, those parts there. But obviously, looking from this direction, I'll see this corner, I'll see that corner, I'll see this corner, and that corner. But these two are hidden, right? Okay, so I'll see line T6, I'll see line T1, T6, T5, and T4. So what I can do here, I'll just draw a line from T to 1. So this is line T1. So I'll just draw a solid line there. And also T6, it's a solid line. Okay. And also T5, but now remember there is a prism in front, so I can only draw a solid line from here to somewhere here, and then obviously I'll extend the line down there. So I'll just draw a solid line from 5 to where the prism starts, and then even at the bottom there. So this is T5, and then obviously here the edge is hidden, so I'll just add some hidden detail line. Okay, we also have T4. Do the same for T4. I'll just draw a solid line from point 4 to there, and even down here. But here I'll just draw a hidden detail line like that. Okay, and then T2 and T3, I'll just draw hidden detail lines there. Like that, and T3. Then I just complete my front view there for the pyramid, just like that. So I was just drawing the front view exactly as it is, and then now I'll have to add the cutting plane there. So we are given that from that point to this point of the cutting plane is 16, and this cutting plane is at an angle of 30. So I'll use my 30 by 60 to draw the cutting plane. So now I'll just measure 16 there, from here to there. That's a point. And then I can just draw the cutting plane using my 30 by 60. Like that. And add thick part there from that end, and also this side. So this is cutting plane A. Okay, so my front view is complete. I've added everything. So now I can just mark off that view. It's complete. Okay, so now I'll move to the sectional top view. That means I'll have to draw the cut surfaces now, because I have the cutting plane there. So obviously I'll just project all the points on the cutting plane, right? Okay, so now this cutting plane is cutting those two solids from there. I have a point, I have a point there, I have a point there, I have a point there. I have a point there, I have a point there, I have a point there, a point there, and a point right there. So now I can just project all the points to this section. So I can take my set square, project that down, and even here T2, that point there, down. The next point is this one, project that point down, this point there, that point, and also this point. So here you might have like 1 point or 2, so I'll just project, because for me I just got 2 points there. So it's up to your drawing. So you might have only a point or 1 point there, but obviously those 2 points are close to each other. They're about a millimeter apart. And this point there, that. Okay, done. I've projected all the points now. So now I'll have to obviously plot the points for the cut surfaces. So I'll start with the prism. Okay, so remember, this is the top view, right? That means we are looking from the top on the front view. So we are looking from the top. So that means we are removing this portion, this upper portion. That means we are left with the lower portion only. Okay, so I'll start with this point. So this cutting plane is cutting this line at that point. So this is line BC. So where is line BC? BC is right there. That means I have a point. This is our first point of the cut surface, and then I'll move to that point. So this point is on line AC, right? So where is AC from the top? AC is right there. So I'll just project that point down. So that means I have the point there. I have a point there. Okay. And also we have a point on line BC. It's that one there, right? Where is BC? Line BC. Okay, this B is this one, and C is this one. Okay, so that means I have a point there. Okay, then I'll move to this point here. Our focus is on the prism, remember, not the pyramid. So I'll just skip that point because that point is for the pyramid. So we have a point there on line. This is line AB. This is line AB. So obviously I'll have a point right there. Okay, but here I'll have two points, right? Because here, remember, we have line AB and line AA, right? We have this line as well. So that means I'll have a point as well there. Okay, so now I can just connect this so that you can see. So I'll connect those two there. Right, okay. I can just draw a line from here to there. That point. Okay, and then where is this point? That point is on line AC, or it's down there. Okay, so I'll just use this one because it's close. So that means from there I'll have connected to this point like that. Then we also have this point, so just draw a straight line there like that and connect these two. Okay, so this is our cut surface for the prism. So now I can just hatch the surface because this is a cut surface. Let me use my 60 side. Okay. Just checking the angles. Let's use this one. Okay, it's fine. I'll just use the 45. So okay, this is the cut surface, and then now I'll have to add the remaining part of the solid, because remember we've cut out this part, that section. We are left with this lower section. We still have that section there, so this section is right there. So I can just draw this top surface there, because this part is remaining. We still have that part, right? Okay, this A and B is removed. Okay, fine. B is no longer there, it's removed. So we still have that edge, right? Okay, so I can just draw the line CC, but that line from the top view is hidden, so I can just draw a hidden detail line there. I was supposed to hatch in the opposite direction, because now this center line, not center line, the hidden detail line is aligned with the hatching lines, but that's fine. So let's see, we have that. So okay, the top view, the sectional top view of the prism is complete. Now I can move to the solid. Okay, so I'll have to obviously plot all the points for the cut surface. So let me just project the points first. I'll start with the point up there, project that point down, the second one there, down, this point here, down, that point on line T3, and this point there from line T4 down there. Okay,